Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Mark, and today I'd like to provide for you a very small public service announcement. I'll try to keep this as quick as possible, but see, I come across a bit of a glitch that was a bug in the program a few iterations ago, but they fixed this. I think this more has to do with the mod, and yes, it's an older mod that I've installed, not necessarily compatible with it, but I figured I'd show you this just in case you come across it. So here we are in the hangar, and it's with the SSTOs. Now, I like to challenge myself from time to time with SSTOs to see how big I can build them and if they fly well. This is the one that I built recently, and sure enough, these are not stock parts. Obviously, they come from a mod, except for maybe the landing gear and the tanks. Everything else is from a particular mod I'll discuss with you shortly. But let's get to the glitch. Let me show you what happens here. And without even taking off, look, I'm already 1,000 feet up in the air. I did a little research. I was reading online and found out that although it was a problem back in the day with the program, some people have had some instances with parts and mods. So I said, okay, let me give this thing a shot. So maybe it's a part, and I'll just give you the process I went through. And it didn't take me very long because I had switched up parts on here. So what I did first was I got rid of these, these stabilizers, and I said, okay, maybe those were the parts that caused the problem. So I went and launched it to see what would happen, and we're still up in the air. So obviously that part did not cause the problem. Let's try a different one. Now, since I've removed the part, all I'm going to do is pull that space plane back from the saved file here. I'm not even going to use that one again. I want it to be intact. I only want to change one thing at a time. And I said, okay, maybe it's these wings. These were really, really big wings. So I'll take those off and I'll fly it now. Let's see what happens. And we're still up in the air, and without wings, that's not going to do us any good. Okay, we're back in the vehicle assembly building. Let's bring back the bird and zoom out a bit. And we tested the stabilizers. That was fine. The wings, that was fine. It wasn't these tanks. We know those are stock pieces. So I said, okay, maybe it's just this tail piece right here. So let me get rid of everything but that tail piece. Now, it could have been these fins as well, but I'm just going to take this one piece off and fly it. And there we are. Looks like it's the tailgate, or that end piece, that caused all the problems. So let's go back to the space hangar, and I just want to try one more experiment just to see how consistent it is. Let's get rid of this guy here. I don't want to save it. Oops. We're going to get rid of that. So to convince myself that it was this particular piece, I went to the mod section here. If you're wondering, it's the OPT Spaceplane mods. So I pulled out the cockpit I had before. Come on, there you go. And let me go ahead and put this tailgate on it. There we go. And we're going to close it. And we're going to fly this thing. And let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. We're way up in the air again. Okay, so again, I was using this cockpit, and then I figured it was this tail. The good news is that this mod has another tailgate similar to it that I use that seems to work. So let me get rid of this one, go back to the mods, and go down a little bit. There it is, cargo ramp. Close it up and launch it. And back on the ground we are. So basically, I think, as far as I know, that is the only piece so far that has been giving me a problem. So I don't have to use it. I have an option here. I have the same part in a different format, and it does fit the plane, and the plane flies fairly well now. But what I do want to show you here is the mod itself. Okay, here are the mods that I've installed using CCAN, and it's these two down below. I will put their names in the description below, but for now I'll read them off to you. OPT Spaceplane Continued and OPT Spaceplane Legacy. They had their own tab. That's where all the parts were that I was using to build these SSTOs, and if you look at the dates, they are March 2021, so they are a bit outdated, and yes, I have to be honest, it is my fault. If you go to my settings here for CCAN, you'll see that I'm accepting mods as far back as 1.10. So the problem is I have an outdated mod the part in that mod is causing the problem. There may be a few other parts. I haven't tried them all yet, but now you know that sometimes it's the outdated mods that cause the problem. So if you should find yourself suspended thousands of feet in the air when you're trying to launch a vehicle, there's a probability that it's a part on your craft that you just have to kind of figure out which it is and just never use it again. But just be careful as you install older mods, that problems can occur. Well, thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope this was somewhat useful. I do appreciate your patience. And, if you can hit that like button, maybe subscribe, that'd be great too. But until next time, this is Mark signing off. Take care.